So how do I put this? Stan Lee is in more movies than I am. I don't take it personally. Stan Lee is in more movies than most actors I've ever worked with. And here's an odd show business secret. Most writers do not have cameos in dozens of movies. But Stan Lee wasn't just a writer. He was a star. Stan recognized early in his career that the tens of thousands of pages of Marvel Comics were ready-made storyboards for cosmic adventures that could not yet be filmed. And it would take decades for visual effects technology to catch up to the visions of Marvel's artists. But when that day finally came, Stan was ready for his close-up.
I thought he'd be taller.
Oh, gee, I've got so many more stories to tell.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe kicked open its doors way late in Stan's life. Long past the point, I think, Stan had, given up the dream of all these characters becoming movies.
So the successful Spider-Man franchise and the X-Men franchise had been made by other studios. Now Marvel wanted to do it themselves. They were going to spend their own money, but they decided to do it behind a slightly unexpected character. Iron Man.
Iron Man I had known from growing up. There was often a playfulness about the tone. Stan Lee infused it with a certain sense of humor. Now Marvel is seen as an established brand, and they could take a lot of chances.
E-Mark!
But at the time, we had one bullet, and it had to work.
The way the audience responded, whether they'd ever read comics or not, was spectacular.
We felt the wave of the audience.
Iron Man had his books, Thor had his books, Cap had his books. So it was really important to me that we introduced them all first before putting them together.
When you have Thor, you have Iron Man, you have Hulk, you have Captain America, you could make the Avengers happen.
It's the Academy Awards in the comic world.
It's entertaining, and we just want people to come in and have a lot of fun.
It's a really good group. The Black Panther.
The idea of this is honestly a dream come true.
I mean, the huge question will always be, how did what Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and their bullpen create in the 1960s result in their characters taking over the pop culture world 40 years after the fact?
It's a testament to what great characters they are, that new writers and new artists continue to refine and redefine and keep breathing new life into those characters, which I think is what we're doing now. We're all just stewards of these characters.
I mean, you could come up with the most spectacular, far-fetched idea, concept, worlds within worlds, I don't care what it is. You can put it on film, clearly, graphically, understandably, and excitedly.
And meanwhile, this new generation of filmmakers, just like the fans, really love Stan Lee. And so it became a fun thing to see Stan Lee turn up in a cameo in a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
Action? Trust me, true believer. Not only did I not think I would be doing a cameo in such a big movie, I never dreamt there'd be such a big movie. All of a sudden, these characters have become world famous. They're the subject of blockbuster movies, and I'm lucky enough to get little cameos in them.
Those movies reintroduced him to a whole new generation of people. And the idea of the Where's Waldo game of sticking Stan into the movies lent it even more authenticity.
Did it work?
You're watching the movie not only because you want to watch the movie, but you're waiting for where's Stan's cameo.
Well, the 60s were fun, but now I'm paying for it.
The cameos always had this kind of delightful breaking of the fourth wall element, because you could literally see on camera how much fun Stan was having doing it. He never hid it, and he never tried to be cool, which is what made him cool.
That's one of the best parts of every one of these Marvel movies, is seeing Stan in that moment.
Are you Tony Stank?
My favorite Stan Lee cameo was when he was in the museum as the security guard.
Oh, man. I am so fired.
And it's touching to me that he would value his career as a cameo guy.
When I was young, I thought I really wanted to be an actor. I was in the WPA Federal Theater, and I loved acting, but you couldn't make any money at it in those days, or at least I couldn't.
Stan's game for anything. That's the best part about him. He loves to have fun and is fearless and shameless about it.
Who the hell goes out at 94 on top? It just defies all logic.
Stan is the link back to the moment when you first encountered these characters. And so Stan is that tether back to what makes Marvel special.
Push now.